just reported earnings, and Trump announced a new set of tariffs. This is Stock Market Recap. Let's get right into it. The market had a strong day today, with the S&P closing up 0.5%, the Nasdaq gaining 0.25%, and the Dow inching up 0.3%. Microsoft stood out as one of the only red stocks, so let's talk about them. So Microsoft reported earnings yesterday, and the numbers were great. The only big miss they had was cloud revenue, but honestly that's not too big of a deal. So to me, this dip makes no sense. But speaking of earnings, today's earnings highlight was Apple. Apple did beat on the top and bottom line, but iPhone revenue was down 11% in China. That does seem like a problem, and shares were initially down around 2%, but after Tim Cook cooked on the earnings call, the stock ended up bouncing and ended up 3%. Now transitioning over to the Trump tariffs. Trump said he's planning to put 25% tariffs on both Canada and Mexico. The indices briefly dipped into the red, but quickly recovered most of their gains. And finally, OpenAI just received a massive investment from SoftBank, pushing their valuation past $300 billion, which is pretty crazy. This could be some good news for Nvidia, since a chunk of that money will likely go towards their AI chips, and it's most likely why we saw Nvidia rally sharply into the close. But that's gonna do it for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Stock Market Recap. I'll see you next time.